Here's a question for you. Is it really possible to be married and not, as a man, use masturbation sometimes? I think this is especially an important question for any couples using natural family planning. My own personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, this is not church teaching, this is not anything other than Onan's own feelings, but I don't think it is possible um, for all but the most extraordinary of couples, and it comes down to have an extraordinary wife who is extraordinarily submissive and or makes herself available and is willing to either deals with frequent infertility or is prepared and willing to make herself available far more frequently than she probably would like or choose for herself. But for the rest of us, I think masturbation is an unavoidable part of the marriage relationship. And in many ways is the one thing, the only thing keeping the marriage from becoming extremely one sided, misogynistic, and extremely burdensome for our wives. Because, like it or not, if you're a normal couple, and let's say you're average in that, as the husband, you have the higher drive. As the woman, as the wife, you tend to have a lower drive, especially after children. You are going to have an inherent and constant disconnect between what one spouse wants and what the other spouse would like, just as a matter of natural disposition and tendency, not even factoring in all of the external factors that affect that, such as children, jobs, sickness, all kinds of factors. Even if the spouses are on the same page and you have these natural differences between you, which are only amplified generally to the detriment of the man or whichever spouse has a higher drive, because those barriers almost always lead to less and less frequent sexual intimacy in the marriage. That's just a matter of fact. And um, it seems that the one thing that the man would have at his disposal, or let's say the wife, but let's be real here. For the man, the one thing that he has at his disposal that will enable him not to constantly turn to his wife or demand something of his wife to satisfy his basic biological needs, I call them needs, for the sexual organs to be used regularly. Solo is the only thing that he has available to him. And if it was available to him and he could do so guilt free and shame free, I believe that would paint, that would greatly improve the overall experience and climate of the marriage to the benefit of the wife. It would probably decrease the frequency of sexual intimacy, but increase the quality of it when it does happen. Because as it is for Catholic men, if we believe that masturbation is wrong, if we follow 2352 or try to, it becomes inevitable that we request, encourage, pressure, whatever adjective you want to use or verb, to try to get our wives to be more available than they would like to. It becomes extremely, extremely difficult and stress inducing to not have that available to you. And as a man, I think most men, if given the opportunity, when times, it's just not a good time. It's been a busy day or busy week. The children are demanding. You're both tired. Your wife is tired, but you have these basic biological needs, I think most men would be willing to take care of that matter themselves, to provide their wives with some relief, or to wait until the time is a little better to come together. And I don't think that would in any way be selfish, disordered. To me, that seems like the normal, manly thing to do, rather than forcing your wife or pressuring your wife into being intimate when she doesn't really want to, because God forbid you'd fall into this particular habit. I think I think that is far more damaging and insulting to women and to our responsibilities as men than simply using this very natural and common device as needed. That is my own personal experience. I've been all over the board on this issue throughout my marriage. There's been times when I um, was, let's say, not doing it. But most of the time it was there with some intermittent frequency. And for a long part of my marriage, um, against my will, so to speak, something I wanted to stop and actively tried to stop and diligently went to confession when it happened. And then there was times where I decided, you know what? My conscience tells me this is not wrong. And I'm certain that I'm a better person and my marriage is better and my wife is treated better if I just do it when it needs to be done. Those have represented the most calm and blessed times in our marriage. And how can that be? How can it be if this is just an objectively immoral sin that can never be done? I don't see how it could be. And I don't see how any man can realistically be married and function at a high level without resorting to this. I don't see how it's possible, especially for couples that are using natural family planning when you have extended periods of abstinence and or you have a growing family, lots of young children around, which just provide all kinds of barriers to intimacy, even when you both want to and can. So I know this isn't the church's teaching and no one should take it as such. This is just the ramblings of Onan here. But I feel very strongly about this, and I'm certain I'm not the only one out there. So I'm sharing that because I think it needs to be shared, and true and honest opinions need to be shared. And that's what I'm going to do on this channel. And I encourage others to do the same. I know there will be people that be angry and judge me and tell me I'm leading people astray. And for those people, I will say this: these are just my opinions, these are just my experience. No one should form their conscience based on what I say or do. You should absolutely form your conscience. You should talk to priests, discern whatever it is that you need to do. Take what I say with an absolute grain of sand. But ask yourself, ask yourself if there isn't something about what Onan says there that doesn't resonate with you deep down inside yourself. Behind all the fear, somewhere in there, you know what I'm saying is true. But as Catholics, we live in this constant state of fear that what if we're wrong? What if the church is right? What if this thing that no one can really stop is going to damn us to hell? Is that really how we're supposed to live? Is that really what God expects of us? Is that at all consistent with what Christ taught us in the gospel? Ask yourself that and share it in the comments. Tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me you think I'm wrong. Please provide an explanation for why, other than, well, this is what we've always taught. I think we need more than that. And I don't think it's being at all unfair as a Catholic to ask for a deeper explanation, especially something as common and as fundamental as this. So you're going to hear me talk a lot about this, and I know people are going to be uncomfortable, and I apologize for that, but it's something that has to be talked about. It is the great hidden issue in the church that no one seems to want to confront, but must be confronted. So I'm going to do that. And I will do my best to be honest and transparent with you. Please pray for me. I will pray for you. Pray for our priests. Pray for all married couples. Pray for our spouses. Pray for yourself. And let's support each other in this project. Let's be honest and transparent. Please leave a comment one way or another, whether you agree or disagree. And if you don't want to do that, please reach out to me. There should be a link in the description on how to get a hold of me. But just send me an email. I would love to chat with you. I would be happy to invite you into the Craig Onan Discord channel if you'd like to talk more anonymously there. Please reach out to me. I would love to interact with you and support you in any way that I can. Also, if you feel the need to correct me or educate me, please do so. I am a fallen man. I'm imperfect, and I'm here to acknowledge that. But at the same time, I am being true to myself. I am speaking honestly and transparently with you, and I hope you can at least appreciate that, even if you don't ultimately agree with me. So anyway, I appreciate anyone who followed this. Please hit like if you found value in this video. Please subscribe to my channel so that you can get more content. Otherwise, appreciate everyone for listening. And until next time, everyone, have a good one.